Alright, Charbs, an interesting thing happened in the art world after the American Civil War. You remember how Jefferson loved the architecture of the Roman Republic, and American artists and architects pulled ideas from Rome? Well, after the Civil War, American artists had the opportunity to rebuild the American aesthetic, and interest in the old republics and classical traditions fell away. Instead of studying at Rome, they began to look at a different European city, Paris, home of the avant-garde, a term that originally referred to the advanced military troop that entered an area before the main force, but came to refer to artists who pushed ahead. In these years, the artists pushing ahead were called Impressionists. Mary Cassatt was an American-born artist living in Paris, and, because of her gender, couldn't display her work at the traditional salons. But their loss became the Impressionists' gain. Impressionists played with the way our vision works. The paintings, which may appear rushed with heavy brushstrokes, are often meditations on the way that we see. Manet's bar at the Folies Bergère, for example, gives each item in a painting its own perspective, and I think that's pretty cool. I made a video about it. You should check it out, I guess. Mary Cassatt leverages this vision to assert gender equality in her painting At the Opera. Here we have a woman attending the opera, seemingly alone, and giving her full attention to the play. In much of the Western art tradition before this, women were under the gaze, something to be looked at. Or they could be a femme fatale figure, on the hunt, a siren that will seduce men to their doom. Mary Cassatt's not playing either of these games. This woman, enjoying the opera, is not a seductress on the hunt. If we look at another painting from this time period by another artist also living in Paris at about this time, Madame X, we can see a woman coiled with sexual energy and adorned with the crescent moon of Artemis. It's a little bit on the nose. This woman at the opera, though, she's looking, but she's not on the hunt. This woman is fully enthralled in an intellectual activity and appreciation of the arts in a meaningful way. This is in stark contrast to that little guy in the background there, who uses his binoculars to stare at her. She's not a seductress, but she's also not there to be seduced. She's independent, and she has independent intellectual pursuits, and Cassatt asserts this by playing with the focus on perception. She looks at the opera, even as this guy, and we look upon her. So I like Mary Cassatt, and I want to do another one of her paintings. This is a portrait of her mother. Again, we have a strong woman involved in an independent intellectual pursuit. A quick survey of other women reading, or in relationship to the news of the day, quickly reveal how this painting differs. News of the War in Mexico by Richard Catton Woodsville, for example, puts the newspaper at the center of the painting and marginalized demographics literally pushed into the margins. The news of the world isn't for this woman. Or we can look at The Brown Family by Eastman Johnson, that shows the matriarch involved in some novel while her husband deals with the serious business of the news. Mary Cassatt, though, shows her mother as thoughtful a consumer of the news as any, even if it is, no doubt, filled with the male-dominated issues of business and politics of the time. Mary Cassatt also respects the privacy of her female protagonist here by obscuring the words in the mirror. That teases us with that information, but her interests are cerebral and they're also private. They're her own. They're not ours to spy on. In both these paintings, Mary Cassatt asserts the intellectual quality of the genders in subtle but powerful ways by using the tools of Impressionism. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. I'll be uploading a new video around the 15th of every month. I also have a Patreon page you can check out in the description below. Thanks for watching.